morning, everybody. Yama is here with Allen Metal Forge. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Let me run up to the top of the list. Noah McGrath in first. What's up, brother? Dana Maggiore, how's it going? Insanity Forge, Dog Bones. Dave Varner, how's it going, man? Chris Schaefer, Jeremiah Johnson, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Finishing my bill with meeting, then I'll be listening. Right on, right on. Mr. Pekka, how you doing? Aimless, good morning. What's up, Matthew? Note to everyone, don't hit hand with hammer, that hurts. No kidding. Don't do that. Chris Lee, hello, hello. Eric, good morning. Michael Robertson, how you doing, man? Usually go for the knee. Mule Kick, good morning. You don't cook a mule. Insane. I had bear yesterday. I ate bear. Caught the bottom of the thumb with the edge of the hammer. Oof, that's a rough one. Yeah. Good morning, Boar. How you doing? Yeah. So, I have got a heck of a busy day. It is going to be raining probably all day at least. Chat froze for some reason. Go to live chat. It's like, nope, not froze, just everybody's quiet. Let people kind of filter in. Hey, Aaron, how's it going? Yeah, right after the stream, I've got to drive down to the beach and do a quick delivery. And then I've had a lot of people requesting bottle openers, rail spike bottle openers. So I'm going to spend the entire day making rail spike bottle openers and some horseshoe hearts. I don't know. It was brought to me on a plate and said, I smoked some bear here. Just before last night's live stream. It was pretty good. Hey, Mr. Fay. Good morning. Don't forget, guys, smoosh that like button, like that smoosh button, share the stream, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your friends' enemies, and your enemies' friends. Morning, Dana. Hey, Chewy. My Skype line is open. Looks like Troy is is turned his Skype on. Yeah. Everybody's starting to line up. Let me make sure I get, you know the drill. Morning, Donut. How you doing? But yeah, so what was I know last week we had Troy, Adam, and Tim on, and we were discussing not so much the curmudgeon-y stuff, but like the threshold stuff, that threshold, brain fart. Just watched 2 ads for you. This better be good. It won't be. I'm having a scatterbrained morning. I really am. Hey, Ethan, how you doing? And Dr. Asen in the house. Yeah. So, what was it? Yeah. I know yesterday you guys are all pretty excited. I got a power hammer built. I did a quick live stream. I made sure to make it quick so that it could be rewatched, and so at least you guys can see the power hammer running. But again, next stream I will be up next Saturday, the day after Christmas. I will be up in Pennsylvania visiting Charming Hollow Forge. I've got a load of coal to pick up, and so I believe next Saturday's Forging with Yamez will be at Charming Hollow Forge, and the Sunday morning gathering will be also at Charming Hollow Forge. We'll be sitting in with Hans Groff, and it will be fun and awesome because Hans is awesome. James Jones, good morning. Yes, it is that Christmas time, and getting closer and closer and closer. And for those of you who make gifts or make things to sell for Christmas, the time is drawing near to finally be able to say, all right, anything else will have to be arrived next year. The shipping situation is dire for everybody. The post office and FedEx and UPS are all inundated, and everything has slowed to a crawl. So, yeah, that's why I'm focusing very local here with everything that I make, and working really closely with the people in the area trying to get stuff where it needs to go. Roy with the Christmas emojis. Awesome giveaway live stream Friday, man. Awesome show on Friday. That was just stellar, Another two-handled hammer episode next week. I don't know. Maybe. U.S. Post office is running on Sundays here. Yeah, I heard that they were going to start doing Sunday deliveries. I haven't received any Sunday deliveries. I actually have a package that I ordered, like December 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, or something like that. And it was supposed to be, it was from, somebody just, I don't want to say a few towns over, that makes me sound lazy, but, a couple counties over, and it hasn't arrived, and it's like, since that package went out, or since I ordered that package, I have sent out and have had received, sent out and have received several packages through the USPS, so it's like, I have no idea what's taking so long with it. Yeah. Hey, Sam, how you doing? All your Christmas presents are getting made this week. Yeah, it's, for being a creator, it's a busy time. January's live stream's going to be epic as well. Right on, right on. It's going to be the announcement of the new year, right? So, like, you're going to announce what the year of is going to be. I still say, if you can do something, keeping in the theme with main shop tools that are relatively hard to come by. I really think if we can get you a lead on, a decent post vise, leg vise, something like that that won't break the bank, that year of the post vise would be really cool, But that's just me thinking, or is it going to be year of the swedge block? Do I get another chance, Roy? Do I get another chance? Hey, Bryson, how you doing? Yeah, I didn't. Last year, my intention was to have printed and sent out to all of my customers who have ordered from me a set of Christmas cards, and I just did not have the time to design any, So I feel you there, Jason. Christmas is in 5 days. Man, it's coming. Year of the donuts. The year of the power hammer. I thought about taking and building, like you've got the Hardy hammer. I thought about building a miniature version of the tire hammer, like literally taking the entire thing and scaling it down so that it fits in, my Hardy hole, like your Hardy hammer, and then, just because. Year of the Tire Hammer. Everybody wants a Year of the Power Hammer. We need to get Roy to above Alex Steele level in order to do, you know, something like Year of the Power Hammer. Somewhere where he's making $26 million a year so that he can just take that and turn it around and put it right back into the community. You know, as a community, I think we can get Roy there. Uh-oh. Is that your new logo, Nick? Right on. That's pretty awesome. Let me see. I can actually... Hey, Thomas Matthews. I could probably actually pull that up on the screen if you'd like. Year of the Power Hammer. Everybody wins one piece of it. Yes! Giving away one Power Hammer, one piece at a time. Yeah, I saw that, Chewy. I think I'd have to pull up a window. This scene here is very crowded. Yeah. A Johnny Cash Power Hammer. Yeah, one piece at a time. Let me readjust my monitors here. I have this weird thing going on with my OBS, and pretty much everything on my computer right now is being weird. Where I full screen it, you know, or maximize it to the screen, and like it's like triple the size of the available screen space, and it's like, what is going on? My power hammer has two arms and just switch back and forth. Yeah, let me pull this up. I can figure this out. Windows Capture 2 and properties and Facebook, Google Chrome. Okay, and okay, so Nick Riki just sent me this, trying to set it up in a scene so that it's not, you know, yeah, just transition. There we go. Yeah, you guys can't see my eyes, but that's all right. Chewy sent me this, and it's his new shop logo. So that's really cool. Did you hand draw that out with, that looks really cool. I wish I could draw. Hey Keith, how you doing? The shop is called Black Rose Smithing. Nice. That looks great, man. Yeah. I have an idea too. Okay, let me close that out. I had an idea. I didn't freeze, I was just staring at the camera. I wanna find somebody who makes... I've got like a video series idea, more on the fun side than more on the entertainment side of what I like, rather than on the infotainment side. And if anybody knows anybody who makes plushies, you know, stuffed animals and stuff, you know, email me. I got an idea. Hey, Hey, Tim, how you doing? Yeah, that is awesome. Morning, Tim. Neil Graham, good morning. I will say that the lines are open. I don't have anybody active. The Skype link is in the description for anybody who feels like calling in. Just send a message so that I can add you, and I'll call you to get you on. Talk to Alex's wife. I could see about that. I don't know how the shipping would go. I did get some news this morning. Speaking of Australia shipping and all of that stuff, and Sam, the Seth Woods Operation Seth care package that I sent and had it arrive actually almost a year ago. Seth got a message from Jillian, who has the package, and she should be sending it out over to him soon. He messaged me and said that he remembered that I had sent a couple sticker packs, and he'd get those mailed out. And that goes one to you, Sam, and one to Alex. So, yes, I mean, yeah, 5 days till Christmas. Hey, Wayne. Crocheting? Macrame. No. Heh. Yeah, I've got an idea for a video, and I got an idea for like a Billy Mays style video, and I would need a stuffed plushie to pull it off. Oh, oh, okay. See, I got a message today from Seth, mentioning that he might not know that they got sent out. It may have slipped my mind. So yes, okay. I'll let him know not to worry about those, that they are already sent out. I apologize, Sam. I feel like a jerk. I haven't been paying attention. Maybe I'll try and take up sewing. But yeah, I'll try and get a hold of Alex. Yeah. Right. Jay Meska, good morning. How's Lithuania this time of year? Oh no, more Christmas. Just because I love Christmas and for the emojis. A $5 super chat in from Roy. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. Yeah, hop on, Sam. I'll get you on. I was going to ask, but I didn't know if you were like groggily waking up. Well, no, it's evening, That's what this Sunday morning show is about, to have the community and chit-chat and, passing the fire like on live stream last night, right? It'd be tough to ship fire around the world, but, it would be neat if we were to... Good morning, Jim. Hearts, brother. Love you, man. It would be neat if we could figure out a way to set up like a chain of, like a path where, like, say somebody in Washington, Tim, were to have a fire and put it in a fire container, some sort of like a pot, a fire pot, and drive it to a smith, who then lights his fire with it, and then, you know, takes that same coal, that same fire, and drives it to the next, and like literally passes it on, you know, and see if we can get, you know, the same fire across the nation. That would be a huge undertaking. But how cool would that be? Solbert's in the house? Holler, how you doing? Good morning. Cold, Mesca? Cool. Right. There it is. Answer. Give me 10 seconds to plug in my headphones. I literally just forgot that I need to do that.
Hello.
Hello.
Whoops.
My fault. I was ready but not ready. All right. 10 seconds to set up the scene.
I'm getting feedback too.
Yeah, you will. Get Sam on here real quick. Transition, and I think I have to set the audio so that it comes from my headphones.
Hello, everyone. How are we all this evening? It's almost morning.
Yeah.
It's half past 11 at night.
Something's goofy.
Hey Tim. Hey James. How you going? Thank you very much, Roy.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you can't see me right now because things are going wacky.
There we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. And back to the call. Yes. Here we go. All right. I know what I'm doing. That should be transitioned correctly now. And then it's just a matter of sizing it for the show. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the feedback loop to end.
It should have ended.
Excellent.
It should have ended, and it should be all right now. Thank you for the super chat, James Jones. I saw that and I appreciate it. Oh, more. $20 super chat in from Aimless Adventures. Thank you. Black is the best color, even though it's the absence of all color. No. Is it? Yes, it is. Wait. I thought, wait. No, I'm all screwed up. Yeah, white is the absence of color. Black is, no, white is all color.
Am I the only one that's still getting the feedback, or is...
Let me check. It might be because of the mics. I might have multiple mics set up. Shouldn't. I'm not seeing feedback on...
Hey, Drayson. Hey, Wiley. Boar. Bobby. Roy? Just me. Okay. Okay. Apparently, I'm the only one getting feedback.
It could be.
I can literally hear myself.
Are you? I don't know what that
I
is.
don't know why.
I don't know what that is then. Go back to the call. And all right, so ready but not ready. Exactly. No, like I forgot that one important thing of having headphones in and not have the call go to my TV. You know.
Yeah. Thanks, BC.
Hey BC, what's up? Oh, Ben Toombs in the house. Who else is in here?
They're all in here today.
Yeah, I miss a lot when when I have to cover the chat to switch over and mess with everything and all things. It's like, oh.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay.
You
That
have
makes
double
more
audio
sense.
set up.
Oh, it's too late.
Oh, good
I
morning.
had the stream running in the background.
Okay, kind of like calling in a radio show. You got to turn off the radio. Turn down the radio.
Yeah.
I get you. And let me guess, the echo was about a 15-second echo.
Yeah, it was tripping me out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that would
Alright.
drive me
I
nuts.
fixed that now. Wow. Okay.
How you doing,
You would
Sam?
think I'd be used to this kind of thing by now,
Right?
doing podcasts and stuff. But yeah,
I got to get back on your podcast one of these days.
one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Good. Kind of slowly getting back into the swing of things. It's actually good to be on the Sunday morning hangout. It's been something that we've spoken about a few times.
Yeah.
Getting me out here, so it's good to finally be here.
Yeah, I spoke with Alex about it, about having you and him on, and he goes, well, I'm not really available at that time, it'd be easier to get Sam on. He's always up that late, and it's like,
Yeah.
I
Well,
suppose.
I mean, it's like 2:30 in the morning for him, so
I'll take Big Fudge over Alex.
Don't tell him that.
I love Alex. You guys are great. You guys are, both of you guys. But yeah, no, I'm thrilled as punch to have you on the show, and have you this morning. Or even.
Oh, cool. Thank you, Bobby. I'm sorry, I was responding to something in the chat.
Absolutely. Hey,
but yeah,
thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you.
This is a great opportunity for me to come back to the YouTube community, because this is like the first time I've been on YouTube since I took my break. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's been a slow process coming back. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I hear you there. I mean, I've been sticking with the live streams, and I plan on sticking with the live streams. But like, I fall into that trap of, holding on to, like, okay, I don't have something to do for a video, or I'm too busy to record and edit a video, and I go, I'll get it next week. And the next week rolls around, and it's like, man, I promise myself I'll get it next week. And it's not a matter of procrastination or anything like that. You fall into the habit of, into the routine of, what, this is my Monday, this is my Tuesday, and so on and so forth. And you forget to schedule in your mind time to do a video,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, one of the big issues I had was I had, like a major crash, depression, anxiety, and all that kind of stuff, and that kind of just demotivated me from making any content.
Right.
And I just decided that I needed to take a step back for a while. Stepped back from pretty much all platforms, completely removed myself, and actually pretty much removed myself from making as well. Like, I wasn't doing much in the maker sphere at all. And then the moment that I started, kind of climbing out of that hole, thanks to so much support from you guys in the community and everywhere else, it was really helpful getting me out of there. But unfortunately, the moment that I felt like I was better and I could come back to filming, I got sick really bad.
Right.
For like a week. I caught a flu.
Right.
So yeah, and then this last week, and then this week are all just filled with making stuff for Christmas presents that I haven't, been prepared for. And yeah, so I like, it adds so much time to builds that it makes less sense to do it when I'm in a rush.
Right.
Like this this garden chopper thing that some people may have seen
That's
on
a
my
beast.
on my Instagram.
Hey Paul, hey
This
Dan,
is
hey
a
Jeff.
hello Paul, hello everyone. Yeah, so this one's actually a present for my dad, and I've been meaning to make this for 2 years. He asked me for it 2 years ago. He paid me for it 2 years ago. So I had to finish that, and I basically did that all in one day, and then just had to shape the handle this morning.
Well, you touch on a subject that a lot of people don't realize that in one way, shape, or form affects everybody. And first, I'll say that is a beautiful piece, you know, and
Mm.
take a moment to say you should be proud of the work that you do, both um, physically, the pieces that you put out, be it a knife, be it a hammer, be it what have you. You're moving up there with what you with everything, and it's
I
amazing to see.
appreciate it.
And then the community stuff that you do, the Forge Cast, the YouTube channel. It's just you're doing amazing work in the community, and with that being said, you bring up and you have I applaud you for the intestinal fortitude that it takes to talk openly about something that affects most people, and that
Mm.
is the depression that sets in, and you unfortunately see that a lot in a maker's community, in a creative
Oh
community.
yeah.
And little known fact is, and I don't know, call it the um, you being here, that and that you've been so open about it, that kind of inspires me. But I too suffer from depression, wild
Yep.
swings left and right. Um, and it's like, and I don't say it a lot, and I feel every time I hear somebody else talking about it, about talking openly about it, I kind of I feel bad that I don't, because
Well, I
a
mean,
good portion,
everyone's struggle is
yeah,
everyone's struggle is different, though. This is the big thing, and I've had some feedback to some people who thanked me for talking about it, and for me, it's part of how I deal.
yeah,
It's something that I'm training myself to do, because I grew up in a family where it was, you do not talk about mental health as a man.
hmm,
You man up. You eat that bag of concrete and you harden up, and
right,
that's it. And so as I got older, and when I developed this when I developed this panic disorder, a couple of years ago, and I started going to therapy and stuff, I realized that was incredibly toxic. Like, it was just hurting me to continue bottling it up.
right,
And I hear from people who go, like, thank you so much for being so open. I could never do that. And I'm like, well, but that's why I'm doing it.
right,
Is I'm not, and I get a couple people who say, like, oh, you're just doing it for, like, attention or whatever, shut up about your anxiety. And I'm like, that's not why I'm doing it. Like,
right,
I'm really happy and I'm really thankful for everyone who reaches out to me when I'm down and I'm talking about it, and they say, like, we love you, man, and we want to see you come back. That stuff keeps me alive some
yeah,
days.
yeah, it's
Like, that stuff, I live for that. Like, that community, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to jump on today, was just it's another platform to say thank you.
yeah,
Um, but the thing is that I don't do it for that attention. It's about destigmatizing talking about it,
absolutely,
right? Because if we start seeing creators talking about their experiences in a real way, in an honest way, in a completely unfiltered way, then it's going to normalize that for people who may not have that opinion. And if we can get it to the point where it's normalized that we can just talk about our, emotions and stuff like that, advocacy like mine won't need to exist.
right.
But I've seen so many people respond, like, "Oh, just harden up, mate. You're not having a hard time." That it's obvious to me that advocacy needs to happen until such a time as those comments stop coming.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I mean, like you just went through, it's
Yeah.
The downside of things, the depression can hit, and there's absolutely, there's it could be just some random thing or random time that triggers it off to set the ball in motion. And once it's in motion, you pretty much have to ride that wave until you pull out of it. And you know, it's not about harden up or toughen up or nothing like that. It's about, well, this is the way it is right now. Um, and you do what you got to do. Um, but sorry, a little bit of production stuff.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I'm reading comments at the moment. I would like to say thank you to a couple people.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ben, I can only imagine. And we all suffer differently. Like, Ben, for instance, is a great deal of, is a great example of someone who inspires me
Absolutely.
purely by existing. Because, like the strength that it takes to exist in a world that doesn't accept you as you are, is so much harder for those people where it's visible. Like one of the things that I am sometimes thankful for is the fact that my mental health is invisible. You can
hide it.
I can throw a mask on and I can pretend that nothing's bad and no one will ask me questions.
Yeah, I know that.
Ben doesn't have that advantage, but he still has to push through it, and he does. He does some amazing work, and he does some amazing things.
Yeah.
Even just as being part of the community, I'm always happy to see him in lives and stuff like that in the chat.
We ride him,
and that's really important.
We ride him, we joke with him, we trash talk on him, but we do love Ben.
Yeah, well, we all give him shit, but it's only because we love him.
Yeah, and I hope someday, Sam, that you and Alex can make it over to do a tour of you specifically. I keep lumping Alex in.
I'll be in America sometime.
I keep lumping you and Alex in, but like it's because you guys are the great blacksmith duo.
Yeah, well.
But I really hope that you guys can make it over.
It's very unlikely that you'll get us both over to America at the same time. We can't even get ourselves both in the same state.
Because I've met Ben, I've hung out with Ben, I've swung a hammer with Ben, I've made a hammer with Ben, and he is, how you see him in the chat is how he is in person. He's right there, quick wit, positive person, and I'm sure he's got his down days just like we all do. But it's putting on that face.
We're not going to stop, Ben. We're just here to make you uncomfortable.
This show is now become let's make Ben uncomfortable.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
it's putting on that face, that positive spin face, and I don't technically consider that being harden up and deal with it. I prefer those around, even if I'm in a down mood, I prefer those around me to be in a good mood. So regardless of my mood, I try to put off that energy, that positive energy, so that everybody can have a good time, and then I'll deal with my moods on my own time. So that's kind of where I'm at with that, and it is that mask that you're talking about, and
yeah.
So
well, I mean, in some ways, it's a positive influence because you're encouraging yourself to act positively.
Absolutely.
And then from that, you're increasing the positivity that surrounds you. Like, I know for a fact that if it wasn't for the positive attitude that I try and espouse in all of my social media, I wouldn't have the positive circle that I do now. Because basically what you put out comes back at you. If you find creators that are like majority negative, they're going to have fairly negative communities. And that's why I love the blacksmithing community. It's because we're all incredibly positive.
Right.
And anyone who isn't doesn't last very long.
Yeah. Or, it's like, I moderate several Facebook groups, and I honestly, I have been debating in my head of pulling away from Facebook and the groups and everything in general. Not simply because I just don't have the time to dedicate. I'm not an armchair moderator, or an armchair admin in the groups. I'm in
Yeah.
the shop, and if or out and about, being busy, and if something happens in the groups, and I see it all the time, where it's like, some people. There's a recent argument in Learning to Forge, or was it like one of the groups, where they were arguing the same side, but they were arguing regardless. Like they were arguing the same point.
People will always find a reason to argue on Facebook.
And it's like, I've got to be the bad guy and say, if you can't talk nice, you can't talk at all. And it's like, I hate doing that.
Mm.
When somebody said something about Yame's stuffy picture sent to your email. Right on, Ethan.
See you later, Neil. Thanks for jumping in, mate.
Hey, it's Albert. Okay, hammer built in the fire, almost time to make a hole.
Yeah, and that's very true, Donut. Very true. And that's kind of what I was talking about when I made that Instagram post. A bunch of people reached out to me because I was talking about it. But what I'm trying to encourage is for you to check up on your mates even when they're not talking about it. It's not just about spreading awareness of the stuff that is obvious. It's about spreading awareness of the stuff that isn't. We all know that we like to hide how we're feeling, but we're really bad at it. And it's almost always obvious when someone's struggling because they'll go quiet or they'll go loud or, something will change in their character that seems out of place.
Yeah.
And because of the way society's been structured around men recently, we don't ask, how are you? We don't bother about, chatting the emotional shit because that's, girly stuff. But realistically, what I'm trying to encourage is for people to reach out.
Yeah.
Just message someone and go, hey man, haven't heard from you in a while. How you doing? Haven't seen an upload for you in a while. How you doing? And cut through the crap. And if they go, oh, I'm fine. No. Well, how are you?
Yeah.
Because if we're not checking up on our mates, the quiet ones, and only giving the squeaky wheel the grease, it's the quiet ones that end up, jumping off the perch.
Right. I tell you, I'm very bad about reaching out and contacting,
you'll be both.
Okay, let me rephrase that. I'm very bad at noticing if somebody's off. Okay, in the recent incidents with you, Sam, it was so blatantly obvious that it's like, well, I know that this is affecting them, so let me get a hold of them and chat with them for a bit, and it's not, if I don't reach out and contact people, it's not that I don't care, it's just that I have trouble noticing things because just nothing going on up here.
Yeah, and this is why, I want to try to normalize checking in on people, even if you don't notice something is wrong. Because if you're having a good day, and I, message you and go, hey, how you going? Then your answer is going to be, doing great. Thank you very much. Having a great day. It's not going to hurt your feelings for me to check in.
No, absolutely not.
But, if I don't check in when you're having a bad time,
fine, Bar.
Then that can be taken personally. I've been in the place where I've been in a dark place, haven't been talking about it, been hiding it as hard as I can because I don't want people to know I'm having a bad time, but then also feeling like crap because no one's asking me how I am.
Right.
You're sitting there and you folded your arms and you're sitting in the corner glaring at everyone, and you don't want to, you're acting like you don't want to talk to anyone, but realistically what you want is for someone to ask you how you're going. So if we can normalize people just reaching out to their friends and just going, hey man, how you doing? And they can go, yeah man, I'm going great, or I'm having a terrible time. Just that willingness to discuss issues is something that I'm really trying to normalize.
Curtis brings something up that a lot of people have been commenting on lately, for several months. is Chandler Dickinson. I do not know exactly what's going on with Chandler. I don't know if he got burned out and decided to, take a break from being public or what. I don't know him personally. I don't, I've only spoken with him on the internet once or twice. But yeah, like Dickinson dropped off the face of the earth, and everybody's wondering what's up.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that he dropped off a while ago, and I didn't hear anything from him. But obviously, I wasn't connected with him before that happened, so I've just been kind of sitting in the wings waiting.
But yeah, it's take a moment to read some of the chat here. Yeah. Already, okay, Bushcraft says burned out. Great day to try to get back into it with the current chat. Yeah, that's what Sam's talking about. Talking about it is what brings it up.
No, I'm just saying Paul making friggin' jokes.
Yeah.
That's a terrible joke, Paul.
See, that's with me. I kind of have to try and curb that a little bit. But if it does slip out, and it offends somebody, I'm sorry that you're offended. But I deal with trouble with a sense of humor.
Of course, yeah.
And it is so often taken wrong, but yeah, so it's like, okay, an example, if somebody's going through something, like, okay, take my, and I get it from my mom. I come by it honest. My mom had passed from breast cancer about 10, 12 years ago. When she had her, mastectomy, she had a mastectomy, and when we first all got into the hospital room after she, came out of anesthesia, her the first thing that she said, she started, crying, and we're like, oh, it's okay. She was messing with us. She turns and says, now when I go swimming, I'm gonna float on my side. And then she got all happy, and we're like, oh, there you go, be positive. She goes, I can finally take up archery. That's what I grew up with, making light of ultra serious situations,
Dark humor is amazing.
And it's like a lot of people don't like that. So when something is going wrong, I find it best for me to just offer those seemingly platitudinal, like, my condolences. It's like, know that it's heartfelt, but know that if I say anything more, I'll piss you off, because there's a nasty joke in there.
Oh yeah, and some people deal with things with dark humor and stuff. I do. I'm one of those. This year hasn't been a great year for that for me, but normally I do.
Okay.
I made the joke earlier this year when all the stuff happened with my good friend. I made the joke to a lot of people that at least now I don't have any neighbors to complain about me blacksmithing. So
right.
I'm familiar.
I keep getting, sounds like somebody's like knocking in the, no? Okay. Sorry. Sounded like I kept getting a little notification. So let me get back up to it. Chandler, I saw something about Chandler and his landlord.
Yeah, he got kicked out by his landlord for posting some stuff on Facebook.
Okay.
And then he moved to that new forge, started setting it up, but then just disappeared.
Probably felt, if I'm going to be, dragged through the dirt for what I post and put out there on the internet, I just won't put anything out there. That may be what it is,
Could be, yeah, it could be.
Let me see. Platitude, is that the venomous duck beaver creature?
Apparently, James wants you to send up some more coffee.
Huh? James needs more coffee?
He's
Knocking on the
bulletproof.
ceiling, Yamas. Send up more coffee. Yeah.
No coffee for me. It's almost midnight.
Yeah, I drink 2 cups of coffee in the morning, and then I switch to water or tea.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm saying that, but I am drinking Pepsi right now. So.
Chewy, I believe that Facebook groups should be a place to get answers to a particular issue that someone is having, especially for someone who is just trying to get started with blacksmithing. That's generally okay. I I'm a moderator or an admin for the Black Bear Forge community, learning to forge and forging it forward. Forging it forward has gone fairly quiet lately, but Black Bear and learning to forge are growing into into some of the larger, more helpful groups. Anytime I stray from those groups, it's anarchy in the posts. It's anarchy.
No kidding.
You hear everybody talk about how vitriolic and toxic, the blacksmithing groups are on Facebook, and I look at the ones that I'm in, that I have a say in, and it's like, no, they're not. Yeah, you get a little bit of arguments, but they're pretty much, the admin teams are pretty much on it, and if somebody's being particularly toxic, they're removed from the situation, either through muted or banned. But in general, the admin teams talk it out with them and solve any issues and miscommunications and keep it a place to learn.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tim and you guys touched on it last week.
Yes.
In your last live. And, the curmudgeonly old guys, but I think it's more than that because we've come from a history of it being a trade. There is a certain expectation of new blacksmiths as to what is and isn't a blacksmith.
Right.
And there's an expectation of what you should know coming into it, but because it is now an art, it is no longer a trade.
And
people aren't required to know that kind of stuff anymore. It's like, for me, it's like if someone was to go into like the art scene, the painting scene, but they only use spray paint, and someone's like, no, that's not what painting is. You need to use a brush.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got views on what blacksmithing is and what blacksmithing isn't, but from what I see on Facebook and Insta sometimes, it's mostly just people gatekeeping their own interpretation of what blacksmithing should be.
Right. I would never, ever put somebody down who is trying to get into a craft, be it woodworking or whatever, because it means that they're putting down the phone and picking up a tool, for example.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I keep my phone up while I'm
those of us who are in the online community like that, and have responsibilities in the online communities, we pretty much are tethered to our phones and to our cameras and such. Yeah. That doesn't stop us from creating,
No, of course.
And yeah, I read something that reminded me. By the way, hey Rob, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, hey Rob, saw you come in.
Brain fart, can't remember. but yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
You start in different crafts all over the place. Like I've recently been picking up, engraving, Japanese style engraving, and been doing a lot of that over on my Twitch channel. Actually, that's pretty much the only place I'm active at the moment, except Instagram.
Right.
If anyone's wondered where I've been. But yeah, you start out, and when you start out, you know nothing. You have no idea what you're doing. You basically pick it up and run with it. Unless you're lucky enough to live in a place where you are close to someone who can teach you in person. And when I tell you that finding an instructor in Japanese style, character engraving is almost impossible unless you live in Japan.
Right. Right.
It makes it very difficult. So basically I've had to start out on my own and, basically just kind of learning by the seat of my pants. And as you learn, you do ask stupid, like quote unquote stupid questions because you haven't done it before. And there's nothing less helpful than people just turning around and going, "You should already know that."
Right, right.
Or, but like, fortunately, I've been fortunate to run into people who kind of go, "Well, there is no right and wrong way as long as you're reaching the right answer. Here's, what I do.
Yeah.
Try that."
And
And that's what I've tried to do with my education as well, as far as blacksmithing and bladesmithing is concerned. I go, this is what works for me. Give it a shot. If it doesn't work for you, maybe try something else.
yeah, there was going back to the Facebook discussions. We'll go with Facebook. Um,
Facebook,
it was almost coincidental that the conversation, and it was beautiful because it was an argument, but not an argument. It wasn't like it didn't devolve into a shouting match. Somebody had posted
there's
something.
a very big difference between argument and debate.
Somebody had posted something almost dead on for what me and Tim and Troy and Adam were talking about last week, and somebody chimed in, and it was along the lines of it is no longer a required trade; it is more of an artisan thing now, and so there are many ways to skin a cat, several ways to achieve the same result, and so on. And somebody chimed in and said, "Well, no, that's not true, and here's why." And that's when the argument started, and through the argument, come to find out that the guy who disagreed was saying, "Well, no, like you can't take this type of steel and quench it in that type of medium and achieve the proper result." And it's like that brings up the point of difference between techniques and technicals.
Oh yeah.
There is a wrong way when it comes to a technical, scientific way to do something. You don't want to quench a oil quenching steel or slow quench steel or an air hardening steel in like salt water because it'll like shatter. Like I'm not a bladesmith, but in general you have those technicalities where there is a wrong way.
Anyone who listens to the Forgecast, which I'm hoping there's a few of the people that listen to the Forgecast in the chat, will know that I am like the steel nerd of the Forgecast.
Exactly. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but the thing is that you're exactly right. There are parts of what we do as blacksmiths that cannot be denied, right? Like, in order to forge weld, you need to get the steel to a sufficient heat.
Yes.
You can't forge weld at room temperature. Yeah. It's just it's just not possible. There are scientific facts because a lot of what we do is physics based and chemistry based. There are certain things that are hard and fast rules, but a lot of the time the arguments don't come from the aspect of like the hard and fast. It tends to be technique based. Like you're not a blacksmith if you use a welder. Yeah. Okay. That kind of thing. And that annoys me.
One thing also, early on in my live streams, I say even, several months ago in my life, anytime I'm drawing something out, I use the edge of the anvil and kind of 90 degree flip 90 degree. I don't do a full turn and I draw on the edge of the anvil, and it works pretty quickly for me to draw and taper. Almost every single time I do it, at least 2 or 3 people will say, either in the comments of the video or in the chat in the live stream, "You should use the horn." And it's like,
oh yeah,
I can use the horn, yes.
Bye, Bill.
But there's multiple ways to do it. I mean, I find that working the 90 degree flip on the edge of the anvil works the most efficient for me.
Oh, of course. And this is the thing, is that I've taught techniques in my classes, my one-on-one classes and stuff like that, and I've shown techniques on my channel that people disagree with.
Yeah.
But the thing is that at the end of the day, my interest is in results.
Mm-hmm. Right there.
If I can draw out a piece over the edge of the anvil and come out with a nice clean taper or whatever I'm aiming for, then I don't particularly think it, I don't particularly think it matters if it's drawn out over the horn or otherwise. Like arguments over technique can be so pedantic.
Yeah.
As to be mad.
It's maddening. It is maddening because it's ultimately it boils down to a preference and for what your end goal is. if like Sully says, he prefers the horn because it's easier to clean up. Where I
Hmm.
don't particularly have, you know, I don't go so aggressive on the edge of the anvil that it requires, much cleanup, a few hammer blows. And I have used the horn, um, like I'll use the horn and Donnie Sharko to draw out a large piece, you know, with a smooth, long transition, taper.
Yeah.
They're, a less aggressive technique is always useful, even if your preference is for a more aggressive technique. It depends on your preference and the what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, sure. I
So
mean, I draw out over the edge of my anvil. I actually have tapered radiuses on my anvil faces.
yeah,
So I go from I think it's a 3/16 radius at one end to sharp at the other.
yeah, Michael.
And so therefore I have a choice of radius. And if I'm drawing out, I use the thicker radius. But sometimes I draw out over the horn if I'm doing a long piece. Uh, or I just use my
Tim,
press.
Tim uses Scrappy.
Yeah, use the scrap. If I was allowed to use a power hammer where I live, I would use a power hammer.
Sam, did you know I just got my power
Um,
hammer running?
yeah, I know. I hate you.
First.
See, I actually had like 2 weeks ago. There was an advertisement for a Little Giant, a 25-pound Little Giant, about 10 kilometers from my house, for $2,000 Australian, and it was brand new. Like it had been sitting under a tarp for like 30 years. And I would have bought that in a heartbeat if I'd had a place to use it.
Right, right.
And it broke my heart to watch it go to someone else. Hi, bye, Roy.
Hi, bye, Roy. Yeah, we're getting close to the end. I will say that. Just want to say hi, Michael, Black Collar Ironworks. He's been waiting for me to build my power hammer and have it running so that he can use the joke. I can say, my power hammer's running. He goes, well, you better go catch it. He's been waiting on that for about a year now.
So we're gonna see you, start pounding out Masters of Damascus, and
Yeah, actually, yeah, I will be. See, I can do Damascus by hand. It's just so time consuming.
Oh yeah,
It's just
so can I, but that's why I have a
yeah,
press.
it's just so time consuming. I feel more comfortable tapping setting the welds on Damascus by hand. I have personally a bit more control of it. And then, now I have this big billet that I need to draw out and then fold and then reset and all that stuff. And just the drawing out, that's why it's like, oh yeah, the most I'm going to do is 600, layers because, man, that's weeks of drawing out for me. Now that I've got a power hammer, I can probably switch over and start doing some billets of Damascus.
Oh, that's it. And you end up getting bigger billets as well. Like with my press, like I've made Damascus by hand before I had Preston. But then once I got him, I'm making 2.5 kilo, 3 kilo billets. So 6-pound billets.
Right.
Of Damascus now in one go, because then I can have enough Damascus for multiple knives rather than making enough Damascus for one knife, which is what I used to do.
See, I'm not even a knife maker. I like making Damascus because of the art. I like doing the creative aspect of making Damascus. Like, let's try and see what this pattern looks like. I'll take the billet and be like, let's make a bottle opener with it.
Honestly, I love to see that, because like as a knife maker, there is so much obsession around Damascus, but from a practical standpoint, it makes no advantage over monosteel for blades.
It's aesthetic, and that's why I'll take and make bottle openers out of Damascus.
Exactly.
Nothing cooler to me than a cable Damascus bottle opener.
I've seen awesome like leaves made out of Damascus. I've seen awesome gate railings and stuff made out of Damascus. Alex had a inspiration of the week for the Forgecast a while back, who made the pillars in a gate out of Damascus and then had blacksmith vines wrapping around it. So like it's an amazing aesthetic choice. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think it needs to be bladesmith only. It can be used in a lot of different situations.
Yeah, Tim has made jaw harps with Damascus.
Yeah, jaw harps.
Yeah,
cool.
Those jaw harps are cool.
Yeah, I want to make one of those
Yeah.
because I want to learn how to play it.
They're neat. I've held one once, but I've never used one because it wasn't mine. I wasn't about to put it in my mouth. But
So I watched Shurap's video on making them, and I was immediately like, I need to make one.
right. Um, but with that, it is past 11. Um, I I would sit
Okay,
I
it's
would
past
sit
12.
and go another hour, you know, chatting with Big Fudge here. But I've got a customer that's waiting for me to
Time's a
yeah,
wasting.
like I've got a customer waiting for me, and I've got several orders to make today to be picked up tomorrow. And it's like, gotta get it all done.
Yeah, fair enough. I got a bunch of stuff to make for my family for Christmas. So
Yeah. But and
thank you very much for having
yeah,
me. I appreciate the
I
opportunity,
appreciate you popping on, man. It's
and
always
I
fun.
appreciate everyone in the community. Thank you guys so much for your support, and thank you for your patience. I will be back very soon.
Yeah, it's always I love these Sunday morning chats, you know, and
Yeah,
it's amazing to see, like we had at the beginning there with you, you know, like if one of us has a problem, the community's got our back, you know,
that's it.
and in a nutshell, you know, that's well awesome words escaping me.
Fair enough. But yeah, no, this community is amazing, and you guys are what make it amazing. And Yamez, of course, you make this amazing
Thanks.
by continuing to coordinate this community and corral the cats.
I do try, you know, I do try. Like I always say, it's like if I can help answer a question, I'll answer it. If I don't know the answer because of how broad this community is in my live streams, somebody in my live
Yeah,
streams will know the answer, you know, or be
that's
able to
it.
point you to somebody, you know, like the Central Intelligence Hub,
Of blacksmithing.
the central hub of intelligence, Island Metal Cheat.
That's it. Yeah,
But
cool.
with that, we are going to get out of here. Big line of applause here for Big Fudge, the sweat towel
I'm never
ninja,
gonna
the
forgive
shot
Alex
towel
for
ninja.
that.
You know, have a very Merry Christmas. You guys be safe, have fun. Damn the man, fight the empire.
As John would say, wear your safety glasses.
Yes, wear your safety glasses. Get out there in the shop and make something awesome.
That's it.
I want to buy a porta band.
Oh, man, you and me
Yeah,
both.
but all right, you guys, we're gonna roll out of here, and I will talk to you guys. Maybe, hopefully, I'll get a video out this week. Definitely be live next Saturday and next Sunday. So
I'll have a video out before New Year's. Probably not this week, but probably next week. So keep your eyes out for that. And if you want to find me in the meantime, I'm on Twitch about 3 nights a week. So
right on, right on. All right. Thank you, guys.
see you guys.
Peace, hearts, and health. I gotta click ends. Bye.
End the stream.
End the stream. End. All right, we're clear.